everyone, my name is Brooke and I have Crohn's disease and this is my first ever YouTube video. So welcome to my channel, and I figured for a good first video I should talk about my Crohn's disease diagnosis story. So I got diagnosed back in 2011, but it took a good year to get fully diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So all my symptoms started for me around 8th grade summer, so right before I went to high school is when I started getting the stomach pains, and then it just kept getting worse. And I also was sleeping a lot. When I say a lot, I mean I slept 18 hours straight, and my parents were very concerned about that. They kept waking me up and being like, hey, can you stay awake for a little bit longer? And I just would want to sleep even more. So that was kind of a scary factor for them. So I had absolutely no appetite, and my mom would just make like a cup of rice for me, a white rice, plain, and she'd be like, you just need to eat something today, like you have to eat. And I was losing weight because I had no appetite. I went down to about 70 pounds, and at the time I was 5'7", almost 5'8", so that's quite tall and skinny. We obviously knew something was going on. So my mom was giving me, God bless her, she was giving me ibuprofen for my stomach pain, and actually that makes it worse. So note to self, if you have Crohn's disease, take Tylenol, don't take ibuprofen. So I was just declining, and we're about 6 months into this, and then finally my mom was like, we gotta get you to a doctor. And so I went to a regular pediatric doctor, and he took one look at me and he was just like, you have mono. How I wish that was true now, because I'd much rather have mono than Crohn's disease, because I feel like you can cure mono. At least I think that's what you can. However, off subject. And my mom stood up, looked him in the eye, and was like, she does not have mono. Get us a referral to a GI doctor. Thank you. And I was like, what was funny though is that my regular pediatric doctor, his son was my science partner in school. So I was just like, please do not say anything to your son that I was in your office. Like, I was just hoping, because I didn't want anyone to know what was going on with me at school. And that's a whole nother story. So about 7 months of pain, I finally get into a regular pediatric GI doctor, gastroenterologist doctor, and she was amazing. I will say that for my first ever GI doctor, I recommend her to everyone that's in my area. And she looked at me and she's like, okay, something's really going on, we're gonna figure it out. And that's when the start of blood works and x-rays. I think I've had an MRI, CT scan, CAT scan, all done before I was diagnosed. And I was also getting stool tests done regularly, like maybe every 3 weeks they was giving me a stool test. So after all of these x-rays, and then I got the barium drink test done as well, and that's like when you drink barium, and then they take several x-rays throughout, and then I guess the barium drink it shows up on an x-ray, and it kind of shows how fast things are going through your system, or if you're blocked, stuff like that. So I had that done. And then by this point, we are a year into this, a little bit over a year, having the pain and not knowing what's going on. And finally, after all those different types of tests that I have taken, my doctor is like, okay, I believe you have Crohn's disease, but I have to do a colonoscopy and endoscopy to confirm it. So I went in on December 23rd, 2011 to get a colonoscopy done. So after I had a colonoscopy and endoscopy, that went well. I was officially diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I'm 26 now, and I'm in remission, so I'm doing well. And I am sharing my story to help others who are on their journey and trying to figure out how to become in remission, and what tips and tricks I have from the past 12 years.